Good morning and welcome to week number 15 for the Marathon Training Plan 2020, and today is run number 71. Jeepers, 71, this is just crazy, and I do apologise for the wind, it's going to be a bit crazy today. Today we are doing another speed session. We are doing 5 by 800 meter sprints at a 5:43 pace with a 2-minute break in between, and should be pretty easy going. Pretty nice to actually do this after the 30k just a couple of days ago. Now, one thing I should note is definitely pulled up. I mean, I pulled up fine, but I've had to, you know, just monitor, do the extra maintenance in terms of foam rolling and stretching to really offset some of the sore legs. But I mean, it's nothing bad. It's just, you know, the usual fluff that you'd be feeling after 30 kilometers. But surprisingly, yeah, pulled up pretty good. All things considered, so super happy with that. It is 7:15 at the moment, and it's Tuesday morning, and it's 20 degrees. It's spring. It's all over the place. Didn't really sleep well last night just due to the wind. It was howling. It was a beast. It really was. But look, this week has actually kicked off with a bit of a it hasn't been a good week so far, and we're only in Tuesday, but I'm out here running now, so this is the positive. This is the thing that I'm keeping focused on, keeping the smiles, I guess, blooming, because yeah, you know, there's, if anything that I wanted to continue to share here is the reality of, you know, life isn't, you know, sunshine and rainbows, and you're not alone. And it's actually Are You Okay week as well this week. So one thing that I want to continue to reiterate, and I continue to share it on here anyway, is, you know, make sure you're talking to someone, make sure you're checking in with each other and finding a way to manage that mental health, because it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. Okay, these are the shoes I'm wearing today. Wearing my speed shoes. They're not really speed shoes, they're just my newer pair. And yeah, gonna do these sprints, get out, have some fun. Do have some things on my mind. I'm gonna run, think about if I'm gonna share them or not, or just let them still just, yeah, I need to work out if I'm in a position to talk about them or if I need to just calm my farm. Ooh, what is that? Is there? Hello. Anyway, let's get out, let's get this done. I'm keen to have a smoothie after this, and should be a pretty nice run actually. The wind is starting to die down, but it's going to be sunny, so yeah. Number 1. Too fast, but it's good stuff. That's too fast stuff as well. Number 3, killing it, absolutely killing it. Woo. Number 4, 1 more to go. We got this. 5 done. Solid stuff. Quick cool down, and then we'll get into it. Oh, there we go. Not too bad. 5 times 800 meters done and dusted. Pretty solid effort. I'm actually quite surprised. I've actually done, I mean, typical, I've probably averaged around it's probably been a 5:20 pace maybe, compared to the 5:43. So definitely had that uplift, which is expected, because, you know, I have been running more around how I'm feeling rather than keeping to the range. Now, once again, I'm not pushing. I'm just, you know, letting the body go as it needs to, and you'll probably see there's a few ups and downs in terms of throttling per I guess 800 meters, but we'll get into that shortly. So pretty solid. I actually feel pretty good. Definitely what I needed, just to kind of detox from it all. When I say from it all, I mean just things that aren't running related. You know, there's one thing which is very true to me at the moment, or that is making me question or challenge things, is, you know, we all have a set of time, right? And not saying that, you know, we're all limited with time, but hang on, what am I trying to say here? Okay, we all have the same amount of time, right? And we all have energy to spend on that time in terms of mental focus, physical energy, strength, you know, our ability to perform at our peak, you know, different things like that. So everyone's different. Some people perform better in the morning, some people perform better in the evening, depending on, you know, food, nutrition, sleep, all that jazz. It really does have a big play on how we live and how we have energy to do what we love to do. Now, with that in mind, you know, there's things that we want to do versus things that we need to do. And then I think there's a third, things that we love to do. All right? And want, I feel, is, you know, to make you feel good, right? Love is the passion, and need is you have to in order to survive or because of circumstances, right? And sometimes need is sometimes out of your control. Want, you know, we might want a lot of things, but sometimes it's not in our control to get to that want. And same for the things we love, right? It's sometimes, I mean, everything is in our control, but I think sometimes we prioritize the needs, or what we think are the needs, and that means it pushes out all these things that we want to do and the things that we love to do. And yeah, it's a slippery slope, and I'm probably talking in a few I'm probably talking with a bit of smoke and mirror at the moment, so maybe I'll just stop. Anyway, let's get into the stats, and then we're going to talk about the new lockdown restrictions. See what we've done. I'm excited. Run averaging. Now that last, we've got to be careful here, but yeah, I'm going to include that last bit. It doesn't matter, but 5:16, 5:21, 5:16, 5:21, 5:16. Look at that consistency. That's epic. Wow. That's yeah, so the first four were basically the same, and then the fifth one I've started off real fast and then brought it down to average it out. Wow, that's awesome. And heart rate, yeah, makes sense. Wow. And cadence. This is awesome. I'm very surprised by that, to be honest. Now, I was running to feel. I was running to, you know, my body, and that just proves that, you know, actually, I thought I was going to be fluctuating a lot more, but clearly I've done a lot better than I expected. That's some good news. All right, well, there you go. That was a quick walkthrough of that. Now, the thing I wanted to chat about was, yeah, so Sunday afternoon we had our state premiere mention, or I guess reveal the next update and roadmap on the restrictions here in Melbourne, Australia. And essentially we were meant to come out of these restrictions on the 13th of September, but it looks like they've been extended for a further 2 weeks, meaning taking it up to the 28th of September. And then depending on a bunch of thresholds and benchmarks and stats at the point in time, they will determine if they will lift things, change things, or whatnot. But at this rate, it looks like that the chances of the Melbourne Marathon happening on the weekend that it's expected to happen, and I'm talking not just in the physical but also from virtual perspective, I don't think it's going to happen. The reason why is because at the moment we're still in 1 hour restriction mode in terms of exercising, and even if things do loosen up around the 28th, people will only be allowed to run or exercise 2 hours outside of their home, which it's basically impossible for anyone training for a marathon or wanting to participate in the marathon. which means either they're going to push out the run and you can do the virtual run later, which I don't think they're going to do because it's still very unknown of when that can be, when those restrictions will be lifted, because it's all dependent on stats. And then secondly, I think they're going to likely cancel it, refund it, and push it to next year and let people just jump in. Which means, and we will continue to address this on a week-by-week basis, but it means that I'm likely going to need to have to do this marathon myself on my own, situations, and that probably means doing loops or repeats once again of that 400 meters, which I'm mentally prepared for it. And the other thing I'll try and do is if I can find another virtual marathon where I can at least capture the record time somewhat officially. Worst case is it's on Strava, so it counts. So that's that. That's the reality of it. That's the update. It is what it is. But we're getting it done. We're doing it. And just means that it's going to be different than I planned, but I think it's going to be exciting. And what I will be doing is my week 18 of the training plan will not include the marathon. It will just be basically everything up to the marathon. I will release that video, and then I will do a separate video just on the marathon alone. Especially if I'm going to be, around my own place. I'm going to be able to, set up some different cameras. Hopefully be able to add a bit more entertainment to the whole thing. I'll have my folks with me. Hopefully I'll have my girlfriend here, but that all depends on restrictions as well. But I think I'm going to try and make something good out of a sticky situation. So that's that. All right, I appreciate you being here. If you are new here, make sure you jump down into the timestamps, have a look around. There's a buffet of information for everyone. Something, whether it's about running, whether it's about a book, or whether it's about just random stuff. Have a look at those timestamps. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, hit that button, and also the notification bell. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, once again, really do appreciate it. Tomorrow we have an endurance run, so I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Ciao. Good morning and welcome to run number 72 for the Marathon Training Plan 2020. And today we are doing an endurance run. We are doing 11K at a 6:39 pace, and it is a beautiful morning. Absolutely spectacular. It's 7:10. It's Wednesday morning. Happy hump day. We're halfway there, folks. We're halfway there. Oh, wow. These are the mornings that I love. It's a little foggy, a bit sunny, fresh. It gets everything moving and grooving. Makes you feel good. This is the weather that makes you feel like you're on holidays when you're not. And it's like getting a slap in the face. Anyway, all right, so today, these are the shoes we are wearing. We are wearing the trail running shoes. Once again, we're heading out onto the sand. It's a beautiful morning for it. Get some of the beach running. We will also be listening to a new audiobook. So I'm going to be listening to Elon Musk's biography, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. So I'll be checking that one out, kicking that off today. Should be a good one. Amazing guy, right? I mean, he's achieved so much and he's taken huge risks. And he's an innovator. He's a game changer. He challenges the norm. So curious to get inside his head. All right. I think that's it. Slept all right. Slept late, but slept all right. And it's I got to keep my mind in the right place. I'm having a bad week. I mean, this is my domain. This is where I feel my best. But I can't let the poopy stuff, the stuff where I don't feel good, fall into my runs and get me frustrated and distract me from focus and performance and intent and the go, 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 go. So we are going to get out and use this run for two things. One, for the training plan, 11K, and two, we need to just glide, cruise, feel good, just calm the farm. And then, so we'll be doing 9.5K, about an hour, and then we'll have to finish up with some some driveway repeats. So should be good. All right, let's get started. Are you ready? I'm ready. I am ready. Oh, it's so good. Let's go. Oh, it's a beautiful morning. Look at this. So fresh. Such a good morning. Oh, this is good. Alright, 9.2k done, 1.8k to go, time to do retreats. Let's do it. Oh, what a run. It's yeah, it was a interesting run. What I find interesting is that I can do these long runs and they feel less of a challenge because they're longer, right? Whereas this shorter run, not short, it's 11k, but shorter of the plan, it feels tougher in some sense, because even though that it's a shorter run, I potentially am enduring, I don't know, there's obviously something to explain what I'm experiencing, but it's shorter, so I feel like I'm experiencing the struggle, you know, even though it's a shorter period of time, for a longer period of time. Whereas in the longer run, because the run is stretched out so far, I feel better for a longer period of time. Therefore, mentally, it seems easier. I don't know. It's a bit weird, but you know, like, I mean, this run, I wasn't able to amp it up, right? And that's fine. I mean, I did. And that's fine because I did, you know, I did it on pace. I've probably done around, must be around 6:37 or something. So definitely wasn't, you know, smashing through it. But when you compare that to a longer run that I've done last week, 30k, I was smashing through the pace continuously, and then I even amped up even further for the final 10k. So it's just weird how, you know, there's a mentality around that this run I didn't need to be amping it up, and I just wanted to cruise and just relax, and maybe that's all it is. I mean, I didn't get as much sleep as I normally would either, so maybe that has a factor. But anyway, I rambled. Feeling pretty good. The run was definitely much needed, just to clear the head, and listening to Elon Musk's book, you know, about his life. I'm actually already intrigued. The guy is, I mean, I'm only an hour in, right? But wow, he's a character, and I've known a lot about. He's been very intriguing man to listen, I mean, to watch and follow in terms of progress and what he's doing in the market and in the industries. But to hear it all about, you know, how he's progressed his life to those points, I mean, this is just early days, but it's interesting. And if anything that I've learnt so far is that, you know, we're all on a journey, and we can't be comparing ourselves to people. I think I've said this probably about 5 times through this series. So you can't be comparing yourself to further along the timeline. And the other thing, before we get into the stats, is I have a question to you. 2 questions. Is how do you deal with fear? And not fear as in like I'm scared of spiders, but like fear around intuition and trusting your gut. Which leads to the second question, is how do you know when your gut is telling you to do something and you know it's the right thing to do? When you overlay that with the fear of change, the fear of unknown, the fear of risk. How do you bring the two together? That is my question for you today. It's a bit random, but you know, it's something which I'm, you know, thinking about, struggling with, challenging myself with around, you know, fear of making a change and what that potentially means, while at the same time of gut feeling, knowing that my gut's saying it's the right thing to do regardless of the fear of change. Does that outweigh it? And should I follow it? So yeah, that's my question for you. All right, let's get into the stats. Let's see how we went, and then it's smoothie time. Jeepers, look at these Mozzies. Look at them all. Jeepers. Alright, need to keep moving. Mozzies. Alright. Oh, jeepers. Oh, painful. Alright, Wednesday, 11k. Oh, 6:35. Not too bad. Not too bad. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, okay. As you can see, for the first 3/4 I was struggling a bit, not struggling, but a few ups and downs, left and rights, and as I've progressed onwards, you can see that I've been able to contain the pace, contain the consistency. Heart rate was pretty good as well. Let's jump over to the Garmin. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, Mozzie. All right. Yeah, pretty consistent. What I'm keen to see is the cadence. Okay, didn't really get better. And then heart rate. Okay. Performance condition low. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm not overly concerned by this run. I mean, it was easy done, easy do. I mean, figuratively speaking, across the broader spectrum of these runs. I need to have a shave. I really need to have a shave. Look, one thing I want to be clear with is I've enjoyed doing these videos so much, and you know, it's what I'm also wanting to make sure is clear and that continues to stay clear is this same passion and energy and motivation and focus when the marathon plan finishes. Now, I've been doing a bit of thinking around what this channel will look like post the marathon training plan, and usually when I'm not doing a training series, I tend to get into a rut. I tend to lose focus of where I want the channel to go. I tend to lose focus of, or actually don't lose focus, but I doubt the content that I put on here. And I've mentioned this a little already. So what I'll be doing is wanting to make sure that everything I'm bringing to this channel is, you know, authentic, it is reality, it is intentful, but I also want to broaden it. I want to take it broader than what running is to me. And, you know, at the moment, this series has demonstrated that it can be more than running, right? And I talk a lot more than running. So just a quick sneak peek there. Oh, jeepers, these Mozzies, I gotta go. Make sure you jump down into the timestamps, have a look around. There is a buffet of information, something for everyone. Really do appreciate you being here. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't hit the notification bell, ding, 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 you know what to do. And otherwise, I will see you tomorrow when I'm looking at you. Ciao. Good morning and welcome to run number 73 for the Marathon Training Plan 2020. And today we are doing a sprint session. We are doing 5 by 400 meters, I think it was. And I think it was 400 meters. Jeepers. Yep, 5 by 400 meters at a 5:9 pace. So we're able to let loose a little bit. Should be pretty good. These are the shoes I'm wearing, my 880 V9s. These are actually a newer pair. I mean, they're the pair I wore last week, but just in case people are getting confused, I do have a lot of shoes, but keeping that rotation happening. Should be a very good morning to do this run because it is an absolute stunner of a day. I mean, look at this. I don't know if you can really see it, but it is beautiful. Looking forward to getting out. Now, before we get into the run, two things to announce. One is it's Are You OK Day, and that means you ask people around you, you check in and have a 5-minute conversation of checking in. Are you okay? And I hope you are okay. I mean, this year, if anything, it's proven to be as a big slap in the face, but at the same time, there's opportunities that we can, you know, continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to smile, and continue to become a better you and feel good. But that challenge is real, so make sure you check in. I hope you're doing all right. You know, hit me up in a comment, DM on Instagram if you want to chat, because we're all feeling it. We're all feeling it in different ways, and we're all here to spread the love. So, well, that's what this community is about, so get on it. Number 2. So yesterday I talked about the Melbourne Marathon and what's going to happen, and anyway, midday yesterday we got the announcement that the event has now been officially cancelled. The 4th of October is not happening, and there is no virtual run. Well, there is, but it's not till middle of December. Now, yesterday I said I don't want to delay my run. However, I do really want an official time. The London Marathon, which was originally going to be a virtual, well, it is a virtual run, is now sold out, and that was on the 4th of October as well. My only option now is I can delay by 2 weeks and do the virtual New York Marathon and get an official time. The problem is I would still be in a 2-hour lockdown period, which means I have to do 2 hours outside of home and then probably 2.5 hours in the back and forth repeats. But I really want that official time. So I'm probably leaning towards pushing out my 18-week plan to a 20-week plan and doing an additional 2 weeks of training, which probably means I'm gonna have to taper a little different. I'm gonna have to do the coming weeks a little different. Now, at the end of this week, I will share what that looks like, and I'll talk about this a bit more, and I'm going to do a bit of planning myself, and I'll get into that a bit more. So if you want to check that out, you can jump down in the timestamps below. But that's just the news. That's how it is. Jeepers, it's never a dull day. Anyway, we're going to get into this run. We're going to get it done, get these sprints happening. Feeling good, feeling good. Fortunately, the power's going to be out today, so I get the day off from work. Yeah, I'm not complaining. All right, let's make this happen. Number 1. Not too bad, pretty fast. However, I think I've just realized I've stuffed up my watch. Not stuffed up my watch, stuffed up my workout. I think I put it at 4 5s and not 5 4s. Anyway, we'll see how we go, because it's saying 1 of 4 workouts. Not good. Oh well, let's see. I think if it means doing 1, yeah, I'm out of it. All right, 15 seconds rest. Let's keep going. Number 2. Okay, so what I've done is, rather than press 5 times 4, I press 4 times 4. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm gonna do the 4x4s and we'll take it from that. Number 3, super fast. All right, as I said, just gonna do the 4x4s and we'll leave it at that, I guess. as I was saying, I'm gonna have to change my plan. This is a good way to start. Number 4, killing it. All right, quick cool down, and then we'll get into it. It feels weird changing what the plan says to do, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all in the head. This is an absolutely spectacular morning. So good. So good. It's actually kind of ironic. I think it's ironic. Well, here I am first saying that I need to adapt the plan. How do I do it? What am I going to do? How do I change it? And then end up forcing myself to change it by a mistake anyway. So I know it's only one run, but it's kind of just, maybe it's just a sign of saying, dude, just chill. Just make it happen. So there we go, 4 by 400 meters. The original target pace was meant to be around 5:09. I've done way quicker than that, and somewhat purposely in some sense. Not to push myself, but knowing that I'm not doing 5 and only doing 4, well, it just makes sense. Oh, I can't get over how beautiful the day is. It'd be a perfect day for a long run, to be honest, but it's okay. All right, let's have a look at the stats, and then we're going to talk about a book review of the E-Myth Revisited. All right, run's already synced. This is the quickest one yet. Listen to the birds, smell the air. Well, you can't really smell the air, but I can. It's beautiful. All right, let's have a look at this. Thursday morning. Not 5 by 4, but 4 by 4 was easy stuff. Not too bad at all. I mean, this isn't going to tell me the result, so we'll just have a quick look here. Heart rate was low. Wow, okay. Let's jump over to the Garmin. Bit of noise happening over there. All right. What have we got here? Wow. 434. Jeepers. 447, 429, 420, 430, and just ignore that number 5 because that's just me pressing stop on the watch. I haven't actually worked out how to make sure that this automatically stops. There's probably a setting I need to trigger. We can do that later. Let's check out this. Wow, best pace was 336. Look at this. This is neat. Cadence, good stuff. Heart rate, yeah. Started off pretty light. Wow. Wow. Okay. Didn't really have much of a training effect. A little bit, but that's the problem. It hasn't really benefited me. Look, let's not read into it too much. Feels good. It was a good run, good to stretch the legs. I mean, there's no point overthinking any of this now because I need to get into the mentality that I need to change things. So, oh, look, I tell you, this year it's been a roller coaster ride, and just this training plan in itself is a roller coaster. It's definitely had its moments of different challenges, and I guess not just challenges, but chances to grow, learn, adapt, and yeah, who would have thought? Who would have thought? All right, just give me a couple of minutes and I will see you in a second, and we're going to go through the E-Myth Revisited. All right, let's get into it. So, one of the audiobooks that I just finished was the E-Myth Revisited. I'll chuck it up on screen, you can have a look. And look, this book, and I'll go through it, I've got a whole bunch of notes, but essentially you got to think of it as a blueprint of sorts, or I guess a roadmap for I guess building a business, right? And it takes an amazing approach of you know, taking you through the steps of what's important for a business, like, you know, the different key steps and breaking it down into a skeleton and whatnot. And the way he also talks about this is he's having a conversation with someone about setting up their business. So he's taking you as a reader through the principles, through the process, and then he's also sorry, oh jeepers, and he's also taking this lady through the same process, so you're getting the real life example. So really well done. It's quite an old book, but it's still relevant, and you need to apply it with a few different lenses and perspectives, just because obviously it was created back in the day, whereas, you know, this day and age we are well, we have the opportunity of the internet, so there's a few different ways you could apply it, but the principles are all the same. Bare bones principles are the same. So I'm going to get my notes out and we're going to take you for a spin. All right, so as I kind of mentioned, a bit of a blueprint, but I'm going to read it out to you. So it's a book about taking back control of your business, and if you don't have a business, it's about creating one. And, you know, not being submerged within the business, but being on top and driving the momentum, taking it forwards, right? And you need to think of it as a roadmap of sorts, or a blueprint, or stepping stones, maybe a bare bones of key inputs, or I guess a skeleton to a successful business, and a scalable one at that. So a couple of points. What have I got? I've got five takeaways, or 5 points, and this is very high level and summarized. So you really need to go jump in and, you know, listen or read it yourself, because I'm not here to give a book review and necessarily say the ins and outs, but just my takeaways, my learnings. So number 1, get yourself in check and be ready for adventure and what it requires of you. I mean, building a business is no small feat, right? It's going to require a lot, and he takes you through a process of helping you understand that, you know, sometimes it's not the business. If you've already got a business and you're trying to adapt it, it's not about the business that needs to change, it's you. Especially as humans, we tend to take a lot on our plates and we try and do everything ourselves, where he wants that to not be the case, right? He's saying if you're blindly going into business with no sense of purpose, or just only to make money, you might as well find yourself living in a nightmare, because that's exactly what it is. You start juggling, you start trying to do X, Y, and Z, you'll be doing too many things at the same time, and you become a bottleneck, and you become frustrated and overwhelmed. Pretty much. Number 2. The E-myth is an idea that anyone who starts a business can be called an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are able to create a tremendous amount of wealth are actually rare, right? And the reason why he says this is because usually we tend to go into a business, we go in with just one mindset, right? And we think that we can manage the business, whereas you actually need to be all three. When we try to go into business, we try to go in as one person, whether it's a technician, a manager, or an entrepreneur. And these are just some high-level examples, but it can be broken down into those 3. Whereas what you need to be doing is you need to be a component of all 3. You know, you need to be a technician, the person who's doing the work, the manager, the person who's making sure that things are getting done and pushing the technician to make sure goals are being met, and then thirdly, the actual entrepreneur, and who's the visionary, or you know, he's the visionary behind the direction of the company and the big picture thinker, right? And the problem is these sides of the mind are always fighting for control, right? Which kind of leads to the next point was, you know, the first thing that everyone should do if they decide to go down the path of, you know, a business or an entrepreneurship is to solidify what the goal of the business is and write the goal down. Understand what the purpose, what you're trying to achieve, right? And with that in mind, in parallel, you need to be doing point number 4, which is building a system that works, right? Small businesses think that in order for a business to grow, they need to hire amazing people to do amazing things. That's great to have amazing people that can do amazing things. But the truth is that, you know, you need to make all businesses, so you need to make all the business systems idiot-proof. You need to make it simple, stupid, so that anyone can complete their tasks. And this way you're not relying on that niche skill set. You'll actually have I guess a thorough or a rigor or a well thought process in place, which means it's enabling people to get the job done. Number 5, echoing systems is with the right systems and in order in place, the business almost runs itself and every customer gets what they're expecting in time. Now this is super high level, but the principle around all this is that don't build something to react. Don't build something to just go. Build something which is going to provide structure, quality, assurance, consistency, and something that's going to stick around for the long game. But most importantly, that it can be lifted and shifted, picked up, expanded, scaled, sold. Because if you create something which is, you know, think of IKEA, right? You basically can just pick something up, take it home, unpack it, and go build it yourself, right? That's the idea of this. And he's usually referring to McDonald's as, you know, the franchise or the turnkey business, and that works exactly right. It's the perfect example. I want to finish with this. My battery's about to die. The difference between great people and everyone else is that great people create their lives actively, while everyone else is created by their lives passively, waiting to see where life takes them next. So yeah, that's my takeaways. I hope you've learned something. I think you need to go read it, listen to it yourself. Great book, especially if you're thinking of starting your own business or you have your own business. It will, you know, kind of change things up in the mind space. But you know, I really did enjoy it. Pretty easy read, or listen in this case. Anyway, I need to go. My battery's about to die, so make sure you jump down into the timestamps, have a look around. There's a buffet of information. Really appreciate you being here. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Ciao. Good morning and welcome to run number 74 for the Marathon Training Plan 2020. And today we are doing an endurance run. We are doing 9 kilometers in the rain. So it's just started raining. And I think it's going to get worse. It's actually, there's a bit of a break. I should really be running right now, but here I am doing the intro. These are the shoes I'm wearing today, trail running shoes. This is the book I'm reading today, Elon Musk. And to be honest, it does not feel like Saturday. I'm completely out of it. To be honest, it's been a heck of a week. Just exhausting, right? And I know everyone's exhausted in their own ways and we're all experiencing it in different ways. Sorry, I'm just going to give you a clean. There you are. And this, yeah, it's just a lot this week. And it's not just me, just the whole family. I think everyone's just on edge. All being cooped up for too long. Alright, so I'm going to get out, get this done. Feeling not too bad, to be honest. I did have a bit of a sore glute yesterday. I've been rolling it out. Seems to be pretty good, so we'll have to be mindful of that. But I just want to cruise. I just want to get out and just enjoy the run. Should be pretty nice. Usually it is nice running, just with the sound of the rain dropping on the raincoat. It's quite mesmerizing. If you've ever had a shower, well, hopefully you've had a shower before, but if you've ever blocked your ears in the shower and then just let the water land on your head and you hear that, it's just relaxing. It's mesmerizing. It is for me. Is that weird? I don't know. Maybe I'm oversharing. Anyway, it's actually about 15 degrees, so it's not exactly cold, but we're going to get out. We're going to get this done, see how we go. I'm pretty tired, but let's not get it in the head, and let's just get focused, and we're going to smash this run. I know it. All right, let's go. Getting it done. What a morning. It's raining, as you can tell, but It's actually quite warm. I'm actually just wearing a singlet under this, just because it's quite humid. All right, solid run. Definitely done fine. Probably done around a 6:25, 6:26 pace, maybe a bit faster, maybe a bit less. What I find is this run, it's always a little interesting. Sometimes it's a trance, sometimes it's, and when I say this run, I mean the Saturday cruise. It's sometimes a trance, sometimes it feels longer than these longer runs, just because, I don't know, it's a bit of a weird, it's a bit of a weird feeling, to be honest, but feel good. It does not feel like the weekend, that's for sure. I'm totally out of it. It's been a rough week, right? And this week it's are you okay day, week, you know. And as I said at the start of the week that, you know, we should be checking in with folks every day, but the question, also the challenge here is when someone asks you, are you okay? Sometimes people say we're all good, we're okay, yeah, it's fine, but you know, it works both ways. If someone's genuinely asking, you need to let them know, right? Because otherwise you won't get into a better place, because you'll just keep bottling it up, you'll keep joking yourself, and it's a slippery slope. So you need to voice it, find a way, and not saying go tell everyone that you're not okay, but find someone that you can talk to, right? Because you're not alone. You're not alone. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. All right, let's get into the stats, and we're gonna call it a day. I need to go rest. Just rest. That's what I need to do. All right, let's do this. All right, there we go. Let's have a look at this. Set, oh, 6:15. Not too bad. I didn't expect that, to be honest. I actually didn't expect that. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. There you go. I had no idea that this was going to be. Oh yeah, pretty consistent. I actually dropped down at the end there. I was a bit tired. Heart rate, yeah. Wow. Alright, let's jump over to the Garmin. The thing I don't like about this Garmin is it's telling me that I'm unproductive, which is just, it's just, nah. Oh, I earned 2 badges. Not too bad. Okay, let's get back into it. All right. Yeah, interesting. I was doing better in the middle and I kind of dropped there at the end, which is okay. Yeah. Performance condition. I did feel my glute at about 8K. It was a bit sore. Pretty good stuff. I mean, to be honest, I apologize. I am lacking energy. This book of Elon Musk and his journey to where he is now I'm really enjoying it. It's really good just to get that insight of what it's like going through, I guess, the hustle of, you know, trying to change the world. And then in this guy, his visions and what he wants to do. And I mean, we already know a lot of the stuff he's doing now, but the book is alluding to that. And it's amazing how everyone, we all have a part to play in everything, right? You know, if you want to make a difference, you just got to get up and get it done. You got to do it. And I'm not saying that you all need to go out and be as brilliant or as amazing or out there as Elon Musk. But what I am saying is you do need to be brilliant. You do need to be amazing, and you do need to go out there and make your noise. Do what makes you happy, do what makes you smile, and make your difference. You know, your mission might not be to Mars, but whatever your mission is, make it happen. All right, that's it. I'm gonna get in, have a shower, have some breakfast. I gotta go pick up some some eggs. My chickens are having a couple of days off by the seams of it, so pick up some from the locals. All right, jump around into the timestamps. There is a buffet of information, something for everyone. Hopefully you are jumping around and enjoying it. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't hit that subscription bell, ding, 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 you know what to do. And tomorrow, or in a couple of seconds, we're going to be kicking off a 21.5K run. So I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Ciao. Good morning and welcome to run number 75 for the Marathon Training Plan 2020. And today we are doing another long run, but it's not that long. It's only a half marathon. Only. I feel kind of bad saying that, but I guess comparing the run, this isn't too bad, but you know, when we're speaking from a broader perspective, well, a half marathon is a big deal. So if you're doing a half marathon, good job. All right, so we'll be doing half marathon at well, the plan is a 6:49 pace. However, likely to be doing this faster. What I'll probably end up doing is just do the cruise pace as I go through the 1 hour of exercise outside of home, and then when I get back to do the repeats, I will try to step it up at marathon pace. Now, the challenge here though is it has been raining all night. It's super wet, which means my repeat location is going to be muddy as heck. So we'll see how that goes. I guess we will just we'll just take one step at a time as it comes. These are the shoes I'm wearing today, and this is the ebook I'm listening to, continuing on, and then I'll probably end up listening to music as I do that final 10K. What else? Yeah, so look, to be honest, this week has been a killer, and I mentioned it yesterday, and yesterday I was just brain dead, and what I mean by that is I was exhausted. I had no motivation to do anything. Running was great, but afterwards I just kind of wanted to hide. I spent the day in bed just playing video games and resting and sleeping, and just much needed. It was much needed, and hopefully today I can have a bit more energy to do some of the productive things that I would like to do. And but it's been a busy week, so hopefully we can make sure that today's run doesn't take a toll from that, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure out on this run that I'm kicking it. All right, so the other thing I wanted to mention, we're going to do this run, we're going to talk about what's going to be happening for the rest of this plan now that things have changed. I've got a few questions, a couple of videos to shout out, and the usual fluff. So let's get this happening. Once again, using tailwind. We'll have a couple of snakes as I progress through as well. So let's get out, let's get it done, and let's go. All right, 6.6K, averaging 6:15, going way too fast. However, I think I'm going to try and keep it, and I'll explain a little bit later why. Three minutes short of an hour, so we're just going to get straight into it. No mucking around. I'm going to take this as a quick break, refuel, and get back out there. There's a slug. Let's do this. It's going to be so wet and muddy, which is part of the reason why I figured to run a bit faster at the start, because it might be a bit hard to do that now, considering I could slip and slide. Whew. Let's have a look. Puddle. Oh gosh. Probably can't see it from here, but I'll show you when I get down there. This is going to be interesting. Let's go. Alright, so there's a bit of water there, as you can probably see. Maybe it won't be too bad. Maybe not. Down here. Not too bad. Not too bad. It's not too bad. All right, let's bring it home. We'll do a couple of warm up loops, and then we get on the tunes and smash it out. All right, 11K in, just put the music on. Time to smash out 10K. Let's do this. See how long we can last. Getting a bit of chafe. Come on. You gotta dig deep. You gotta push on. Full on the head. Come on. My pump up song's on. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Almost 18K, Chariots of Fire's coming on. I get emotional, don't know why, but it's the reality of it. Here we go, come on, let's bring it home. 3 and a bit, 3 and a bit. 19K in, just a quick little walker, back into it, we're almost there. 2.5, 2.5. Let's do this. 20K, 1.5 to go. Another half marathon done. Yeah, boy. That's like 7 or 8 back-to-back in weeks. Woohoo! All right, we got 400 meters. 400 meters. The emotions, the excitement, and the achievement is all brewing together. Let's go. This stuff is beautiful. This stuff, it's addictive, but it's healthy. 21.5. Just smashing it. Just smashing it. What's glorious? And yes, I'm saying glorious is, and it's like a broken record. I've said this from weeks on and weeks out, that my ability, I am just amazed with myself. If you'd asked me to keep showing up like this and smashing it, I would never have thought it was going to be like this. I'm not saying it's easy, it's mental, but once you get past it and you've realized you've challenged yourself a little bit more, you've pushed a little harder, you've conquered that brain, you've conquered that pain space, that pain cave, it just starts to show you that you got it. You got it. And the one thing I want to need to turn my music down, it's too loud. The one thing I want to remind everyone is that, and I'm not going to share who said this, but I've had multiple people that I've been having conversations with, and they've said to me, what I am doing is is just amazing, and it's inspiring, and is just wow. Now, I know that for me, but I would never think that I would be able to have such a positive influence or motivation for others, and that people are looking at my result and thinking that I'm that I've got it all together and that I'm so good. It's not the case. It really is not the case. I mean, this is years in the work, and there's people that I look up to and think, how do they make it look so easy? And wherever you are on the timeline, do not fall victim of the trap of looking ahead and seeing what other people are achieving and doing, because you know, they were exactly where I am now, and I was exactly where you are now. Don't beat yourself up. It's progress over perfection. It takes time, it takes hard work. But this is the whole point of me sharing this, is because I want to show you what I'm doing to get here. And I've done this year on and year out at different levels, for my first half marathon, for my second, for my first marathon. And each year it's had its set of challenges, it's had its set of accomplishments I've had to achieve. So don't, look, I am so grateful, I am so thankful for people that are looking up to me, and that humbles me, but please don't get stuck on comparing. Don't get stuck on comparing yourself that you're not good enough. You can compare and think you want to be like that, but you got to put the work in, right? You got to do the steps. You got to do it. Amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing stuff. What a run. Now, this run, 21 and a half, I haven't looked at the result yet. Probably a 609, 608. And what I want to make clear is at my 7k or 10k checkpoint, I mentioned that, you know, I'm running a bit faster, but there's a reason for it, and there's two reasons for it. One, I already mentioned, was due to the mud. I didn't know what this situation was going to be like. I didn't know if I was going to be able to throttle, and surprisingly I was able to, because it wasn't that muddy. It was pretty good. But secondly, because I'm going to be changing my plan up now, things have changed, and we'll get into that detail shortly. I figured doing a bit more of a pushy run, putting in a bit more hard work, hard effort, and I guess channeling my inner Jason from Running Alive is going out a little bit harder, seeing what you can do, push it a bit more. That's what I've done, because I've got a few more weeks of buffer now since things are going to change. So we'll get to that shortly. So those are the two things. And this run, it was, I mean, last week I did 30k and that felt easier than this. Why? Because this I was pushing limits. I was trying to, you know, really set the bar a little bit higher. I averaged the first half, and we'll look at this shortly, but the first half I reckon was probably around 620, right? And the second half of this run, I've definitely done around the 605 pace. Easy. I was smashing out some low fives, some mid fives, some high fives, and some small sixes. So I think we've done some wonders. Oh, I'm so happy. This is what it's all about. All right, let's get into the stats. Let's actually have a look and see how we've done. There we go. 21.5, averaging 607. This is, it's a fair effort, and I mean, it's definitely not a PB, but it's probably in one of my top 5 halves, I think. Maybe not. Mozzies. Oh, let's have a look at this. Nice heart rate, calories 1700. It was saying it was a bit of a hard run for me, but it felt pretty good. Surprisingly, I didn't actually really have a big jump by the looks of it here. Heart rate wise we did, but we'll have a look at that in the Garmin. This is great. This is good stuff. Jump over to the Garmin. This is where the real magic is. Oh yeah, look at that. You can see I've stepped it up big. Oh jeepers! I've stepped it up big time.
And if we jump over to heart rate, see the second half, heart rate's high, but that's because I'm pushing high. Cadence as well, pretty consistent across the whole way. That's neat. A few little stops and starts, but you know, performance condition. Let's have a look. Still saying below. I don't know about this performance thing. I don't really understand it. But that's epic. Now, if we have a look, and of course I'll put this up on screen, the average once I've got it. But if we look at when I started around, must have been K11 that I started stepping it up. So 603, 544, 541, 534, 546, 624, 603, 559, 537, 639, 542, and then 517. So I mean, I've definitely averaged something pretty high there. Without doing the math, I don't know. So it's going to be up on screen now. So pretty surprised with that. And that's what I'm talking about when it came to me really pushing myself for this run. Is I started off a bit too hot, and I realized, well, I was actually going all right. And then I started thinking, well, actually, if it's going to be muddy, we probably need to think about this, and maybe it makes sense to keep going as fast as I was. I was doing about probably 620, 626, somewhere there. And then I figured, well, I was going to then do the throttling for the final 10K anyway. So now I've got to do it a little bit higher, right? And that's what it's all about. So I guess now we want to get into the juicy stuff, which is what's happening about my marathon. So stage 4 restrictions remain here. Well, actually, they start to change as of end of day today, Sunday. The what's the day? What is today? Yeah, the 13th. Whereas what that means is they're allowing us, our exercise, to be broken up to 2 hours rather than 1 hour outside of home. But that's gonna that's only gonna be up until a certain period, which means, as I predicted last week, that the Melbourne Marathon, they can't continue to do a virtual run on the 4th of October because people can't run a marathon in 2 hours. So it's just not you know, plausible. So what they've done is they've said we're officially cancelling the event for this year, but they're doing a virtual event between the 5th and, I think it's the 5th and 13th or 5th and 17th of December. Now, once hearing that, I was like, well, I don't want to push out another, well, that's like, it's probably another 10, 12 weeks. Now, I could continue to do that training and really, you know, branch it out and, you know, spread it across. But to be honest, I don't really want to do that because I feel like I'm at a spot where I'm keen to get this done, and I've prepared myself mentally that I might have to do it in this kind of repeat situation. So I haven't made the final decision, but I'm probably 80% there that what I'll be doing is I'm going to extend my training plan for 2 weeks. So do an additional 2 weeks, so a total of 20 weeks. And I'm going to sign up for the New York Marathon virtual marathon, which is on the 17th of October. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it out here. I'm going to do it as what I've been training like, and go for that distance, that time. Which means for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to adapt my plan. Now, I can't extend my Nike plan. I'm going to have to do some manual intervention. So I'm going to have to get creative, but probably what I'll end up doing is duplicating this week and do that next week, and then duplicate next week for the following week, and then follow it that way. And I might do a 24K or 25K next week just to have that little extra mileage. But I'll see. That's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I'm going to do the Melbourne Marathon on that week. I'm going to do the New York Marathon virtual and track it on Strava, Nike, the whole shebang, right? And a little frustrating, but it is what it is. All right, I've got a couple of questions, a couple of channels I want to shout out to everyone. So let's get to the channel videos first, and then we will get to some questions. 3 channels I want to shout out for this week. Yeah, so the first channel I want to give a shout out to is RunFitt, and this is, her name's Isabel. She's basically training, or taking us through a journey of training for running, and how she wants to really put functional training at its best, at its limits, and taking us through that journey. And she's gone through a bit of
challenges with injuries and whatnot, and that's why she's created this channel, and to show you how she's doing it, how she's getting herself back in, I guess, functional shape in terms of being able to get out there and run her running goals, right? So I just admire what she's doing. I think there's some great energy there, and it's fun just to follow along, and it's something different. It's something different. So shout out to her. Keep doing what you're doing. Looking forward to following along, and go check out our channel. The next one was MYL, so it's called Maximize Your Life, and we've been chatting for a bit now, sharing some, you know, different comments, supporting each other's videos, and you know, I've really, the stuff he's been sharing has been resonating with me, and I feel that maybe some of the stuff I've been sharing has been resonated with him. And I think, you know, he's got a channel which has got a bit of everything. It's got a bit of exercise, health, just, you know, lifestyle, and you know, how to improve your life. So really do recommend his channel. Go check it out. He's doing some great stuff over there, and one of his last videos, he's edited the whole thing on his phone. So just goes to show, if you're making excuses about starting something like this, you don't need all the fancy tech and gear. Just get out there, get the phone, record on the phone, edit on the phone, make it happen. So I've been inspired by him, so go check it out. And then the final channel, and it's actually a video that stood out the most, which was 7 tips for beginner runners, is from BarelyGlorious, and we've been following each other for a bit, and I watched his video just the other night, and I reckon this video is just, it's just straight to the point. It's a bit of fun, you know, but he's putting some, you know, basically the 7 FAQ kind of questions that are being asked, and just he does it in a fun way, and he just shares his tips and tricks. He's been running for a while, and I think it's a great video for anyone that's just getting started and wants to you know, understand, what do I need to know, right? So I'll put the link below in the description. Go check it out. Highly recommend it. All right, now for some questions. All right, so the first question is from Adrian and Nico, and you know, he's just put a bit of banter. I hope my legs are feeling good. And he said, am I feeling confident in my current state? Yes, I am. However, I always get a little nervous when it starts to get closer to this end point and the tapering point. I'm feeling confident. That's why I don't want to delay my run any further than pushing it out by 2 weeks. As I just discussed about the marathon being cancelled and a virtual run being pushed out, you know, in a couple of months. I'm too nervous to do that. I've been training hard for this, and I just want to get it done and show myself. And then I feel like if that doesn't go as planned, I do have the backup to do it in December again, if my body permits. So yes, I'm feeling confident, but nervous. Next is from Ultra Trail Stephen. He's asked, so which race am I doing? Well, it was intended I was doing the Melbourne Marathon, 4th of October, which is now changed. So as discussed, likely going to be doing the virtual New York Marathon. And then if that doesn't go as planned, I still have a chance to do the Melbourne Marathon in December as a backup, but I feel like that's more likely to be a half marathon. So yeah, I think I'm speaking it over and I'm saying it out loud. It looks like it's going to be the New York City virtual marathon. Sean Sticks, my good man, he's also been training for the Melbourne Marathon. So we're both a bit bummed at the moment. His question was, have you thought to wear your hydration vest to store drinks and snacks so I can access them any stage? So this is a great question. I have thought about it, and no, because traditionally doing the marathon, the weather's always been around 26 degrees. Now, it might not be that this year, but I don't want to train with it. I don't want to train with it in these cooler conditions and then get out there and then I'm just not comfortable. So the way I intended the race to go, if I was doing it race-like conditions, is I'm using this Fitletic hydration belt, maximizing that, and then using the drink stations as my refill stations. So basically they were like every 5 to 7k last year, maybe every 4k, and leveraging them and using these bottles that I've got here as my backups. And snack wise, snacks, I actually just had a smaller little running bag with me that sat on the back, which had all my snacks, and they weren't actually snacks, they were using
Cliff Bar shoes, and I was basically smashing one of them out every 5-10k. So that's the reason why, mate. For a trail run, if I was doing a 28k trail run, then yes, my 2 bays I always do it, but for this, no. So what I'll be doing, if I'm going to be doing the run around here, I'm just going to set up a little table and have it like a drink station. Yep, that's the plan. Great question though. Brad from My BS Life. Now Brad's been he's become a great new friend, good YouTube friend, and you know, someone that I hopefully one day we'll get to meet. Just been helping each other, and yeah, really do appreciate you, Brad. So I also appreciate this question. He asked, I also wondering, how do you share your phone screen and make it look live? So while I'm doing this talking and looking at my screen, there's an option on my iPhone to record screen. So if you have an iPhone, you should be able to do this as well, and we can chat offline on how to do this. But there's a record screen function. I'm just recording while I'm talking through what we're doing right now. Save it, upload it to Canva, and then you can get a mock-up iPhone screen, chuck it in there, and then I just export it as a video and have it playing on the side while I'm doing this talking. So it's basically just like for like. Now that might sound a bit too simple, or maybe it was a bit too technical as well, so hit me up, let me know, happy to walk you through it. It's I just want to say thank you once again. I'm overwhelmed with the continued support and encouragement, both on YouTube comments, in my social media and things like that. It's been so great to be able to share and document this, and I'm looking forward to where I can take this channel and this community with you. And I hope you stick around after this marathon training series, and because I'm keen to do some new things, try some different stuff on the channel, and hopefully make something a bit more of it. And nearly at 500 subs, so if you're new here, really do appreciate it. Let's have a quick look at what we're going to be doing next week, or what was the plan for next week. And as I said, I will come back on Monday and discuss a bit more of how I plan to make this plan a little different, because yeah, things have changed. Things have changed. All right, so next week I was expected to be doing 4 times 400 meters, 8km endurance, 5x200 meters, this long run of 16.5, and then an endurance of 7 kilometers. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really good today. Yesterday I was just mentally drained, exhausted, not because of the running, but just life and things, and I'm trying to be more honest about that. Whereas today I feel great, I feel positive. Hopefully I can go do some productive things today, and then yeah, get it all happening. So anyway, really appreciate you being here. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go have a smoothie, have some coffee. Yes, that glorious smoothie, it is the best. If you didn't check out my diet that I'm doing, you can jump back to last week's video, check out all about that. Got the timestamps there. But for this week, I really do appreciate you being here. Really do. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the bell button if you haven't as well. But for now, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do the whole shebang, and hustle. Ciao.